Hello. It is early August 2021 and Brent and I are in Yellowstone National Park getting ready to set off on a 5-day backpacking adventure. We're going to cross the Snake River and follow that for a bit, connect with the Heart River, go around Heart Lake, scale Mt Sheridan, and then exit out through the Heart Lake Geyser Basin. So we've got a lot of cool sights to see. We're very excited to get going. We're ready to hit the trail. We want to extend a big thank you to Brooke, Jacob, and Elizabeth who gave us a ride this morning from the Heart Lake Trailhead down to the south entrance. Thank you all very much. Hope you have a wonderful day hiking in the Tetons. We've got a little thermal activity out there to the right. Very neat. There's a little squirrel on the log eating himself a morning snack. He's pretty chill. There he goes. Making our way along the south boundary trail. An overcast day for us, keeping the temperatures nice and cool so far. Beautiful, beautiful hike to get us started on our trip. Taking a 360-degree look, we've popped out to a beautiful meadow here along the south boundary trail. We met a couple rangers and they checked our permit. We're good to go. And it is just a spectacular day and a spectacular view for us. Closing in on 8C6. Home sweet home. We've made to camp for the night. Still pretty early in the day, so we've got a relaxing afternoon ahead of us once we get camp set up. The Snake River runs from its headwaters in Yellowstone at Two Ocean Plateau to the Columbia River, forming the 10th largest watershed in North America. Humans have lived along the Snake for more than 11,000 years. Let's take a look at the map for day 1. We started today at the south entrance of Yellowstone National Park, followed the south boundary trail through the woods until it comes out to the Snake River, continued to Heart Lake Trail, did our second ford of the Snake River of the day, and we're set up camp at 8C6, Snake River 4. Day 2 is about 6.5 miles. Well, the first day of our backpacking adventure in Yellowstone has been a great day for us. What do you think of your first day in Yellowstone?
I mean, I couldn't ask for much more, so far, as far as just everything from it. We had a smooth entrance, and we're like, we talked about earlier, we're able to get picked up pretty quickly and get out here to the trailhead, and yeah, so just an easy day and great weather. So had a couple of mosquitoes coming, around the Snake River, but other than that, I mean, it was great. We crossed the river twice. I crossed the river barefoot, so which was good, but an interesting experience, and so successful on that front. And then yeah, we made it over here to our campsite pretty early, probably, what do you think, by 2?
Yep.
And so we have just been here, really just enjoying the time. I mean, we went back to the river once or twice now, and have just been getting set up and taking our time. So
good day.
It's been good.
We finished up dinner and we're gonna settle in for the rest of the evening here, and that'll be the end of day 1. Good night. Yellowstone's unique hydrothermal activity is caused by the supervolcano lying underneath. The magma chamber releases tremendous heat and is estimated to be about 37 miles long, 18 miles wide, and 3 to 7 miles deep. 1 to 2,000 recordable earthquakes occur in the area annually. Good morning.
Morning.
We made it to day 2 of our backpacking trip in Yellowstone National Park. We had a calm night last night. The animals woke us up this morning around sunrise, a bunch of squirrels and birds making a lot of chatter noise around the campsite. Today we've got about 10 miles to hike. We're going to fall along the Snake River again for a while, and we are going to end our day around the confluence of the Snake and Heart Rivers. We do have a handful and a half of river crossings today. The water levels have been pretty low, so maybe some of them we'll be able to keep dry feet going across, but there'll definitely be a couple wet foot crossings for us on the docket. We're getting camp packed up, and then it'll be time to hit the trail.
On a leash.
Looks like this tree is a scratching post here. Got a couple claw marks and a bunch of hair on this side here. Making our way along the Heart Lake Trail.
Swing low, sweet chariot. Well, it's had a long way to Richmond. Alright. Simone Biles on the balance beam. For the goal.
We finished up our section of the Heart Lake Trail for today. We will be back on Heart Lake Trail tomorrow. We are currently following the Basin Creek Cutoff Trail, and there was no sign at the intersection. So if you come this way, you'll want to be careful.
there's some horse campers right after a ford of Basin Creek around campsite 8B3. All roads lead to the Snake. Our second to last crossing of the day, another wet footer. Our final ford of the day, the Snake River. Home should be right on the other side here, we just have to get across. Home sweet home. We've made to camp for the night. Site 8C5, Snake Heart Confluence. Let's take a look at the map for day 2. We started at our campsite 8C6, followed the Heart Lake Trail, paralleling the Snake River, until we came to the Basin Creek area. We accidentally missed the intersection because there was no sign until we realized we had gone to 8B1, so we backtracked, connected with the Basin Creek Cutoff Trail, took that to connect with the Snake River Trail, and we'll have to go to the other side of the map. Once on the Snake River Trail, we continued to our campsite at the Snake Heart Confluence, 8C5. Day 2 was about 10 miles. This is the end of day 2. Good night.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We made it to day 3 of our backpacking trip in Yellowstone National Park. I was a little under the weather yesterday, so we didn't have much of a recap of the day, but we did have a good day, got to see lots of cool sights. We kind of crossed at the confluence of the Heart and Snake Rivers, which was cool, and we had a bunch of crossings throughout the rest of the day as well, so made for a very adventurous day. Today we've got about 9.5 miles or so, 3, I believe, wet feet crossings along the way. And then we are going to set up camp on the edge of Heart Lake at the base of Mt Sheridan. So we're excited to get out there, and it's time to hit the trail.
Finishing up the Snake River Trail, we are now hopping on the Heart River Trail. The Heart River, our first crossing of the day. Definitely a wet footer, but does not look too bad at all. Second crossing of the Heart, another wet footer, only looks to be a couple inches deep. Outlet Creek. This should be our final wet foot crossing of the day and of the trip. A beautiful day. Mount Sheridan. If all goes according to plan, we will be on the top of that tomorrow. Making our way along the Trail Creek Trail. A
about to hit Heart Lake. This is one of my favorite places in the world, the north shore of Heart Lake, with Mt Sheridan looming in the background. And it is a spectacular day for us to enjoy this pretty view. This is Witcher Creek. It's a mixture of thermal water and stream water, and since it's mixed, you're allowed to touch it, and the water is typically nice and warm. The Rustic Geyser area is chilling right now. Rustic Geyser has decided to put on a show right when we walk by. We can see a little water popping up, see quite a bit of steam popping up. Very cool. Home sweet home. Campsite 8H2. A sweet spot right on the banks of Heart Lake.
Truman Everts, the oldest member of the 1870 Washburn-Langford-Doane expedition, got separated from the rest of the group and spent 37 days alone in Yellowstone. He slept on the edges of hot springs near Mt Sheridan to survive. When rescued, his weight had dwindled down to only 50 pounds. Let's take a look at the map for day 3. We started at our campsite 8C5, had a short jaunt on the Snake River Trail to connect with the Heart River Trail, paralleling the Heart River. We then connected with the Trail Creek Trail that takes us up the east side and then north side of Heart Lake. All of this that we've been on today, once we connected with the Heart River Trail, has been the Continental Divide Trail, or CDT. And let's go to the other side of the map. Continuing around the north side of Heart Lake, we then connected with the Heart Lake Trail and took us to our campsite 8H2. Day 3 was about 9 miles.
Alright, day 3 in the books. So this is the outro for day 3. Layne and I are here at Heart Lake, standing next to Sheridan Creek, which is, so we're here at the campsite just at the base of Sheridan Mountain, which is our goal for tomorrow, to climb that and come back down. And this will be our campsite for tomorrow night. So, I mean, we had a spectacular day. I mean, we got off to a solid start. Layne was feeling better this morning, you know, so we were able to keep it rolling down the Trail Creek Trail into the Heart Lake Trail, which led us essentially around the horizon here. We walked a good bit up the beach here, completed our 9 miles, and got back to camp. A real good time.
Yeah, it's been a great day. We had a cool experience where we got to meet Mr. DeBray and his group of 5. I had actually talked with him randomly online, and we were comparing trips, and we saw that there would be a couple hour stretch where our groups may cross on trail, and that ended up working out for us. They're out here for 9 days, so hope the rest of the trip goes well for those guys. When we got into camp, we saw 2 rangers who had just dug a new pit toilet for us out here, so we're gonna be one of the first to break that in before too long. We got a beautiful private beach on Heart Lake. We're gonna settle in for the rest of the evening, and that'll be the end of day 3. Good night. Good afternoon. We made it to day 4 in Yellowstone. Mother Nature threw us quite a curveball. We had thunderstorms coming through all night into the morning, and of course it would be a foolish decision to climb a mountain with thunder in the area, but It's been about three and a half hours since we've heard any thunder. It's been about an hour and a half since the last rainstorm. The sun has started to come out a little bit, so we are now excited to hopefully be able to make it to the top of Mount Sheridan, and we are going to go tackle that now. Let's get it. Our climb begins. 3,000 feet over the next 3.9 miles. The top looks so far away. Directly in front of us, the beige areas are the Heart Lake Geyser Basin. There's Flat Top Mountain, Witch Creek flowing into Heart Lake. The Rustic Geyser, way out in the distance, are the Absarokas. And that is, of course, Heart Lake here. We're putting in the work today. Closing in. We're heading right up there. No snow this year. Red Mountains. Windy. Alright, we've got a lot to see up here. Dead ahead is Shoshone Lake and the Red Mountains, Factory Hill. There's the west thumb of Yellowstone Lake. The rest of Yellowstone Lake coming into view as well. We got a pretty good look at the south arm. On the other side is the southeast arm. Heart Lake right below us. The Absarokas way out in the distance. Coming into the screen here is Big Game Ridge at the south of the park. And there's our intrepid hiker. We can't see too terribly much of the Tetons today, but one of them is poking up through the clouds. Heading down from Mount Sheridan, 10,305 feet. There's a big stormy looking cloud coming over Mount Sheridan. Hopefully we can make it home before that hits us. Looks like we got down from the mountain just in time. Home sweet home. We made it back to 8H2. My oh my, how the conditions have changed over the past 2 hours. It is very, very windy. The wildfire haze is blown in. But we're gonna get settled in and cook some dinner. Let's take a look at the map for day 4. We started at our campsite 8H2 and left camp set up to do a day hike and took us along the Heart Lake Trail to connect with the Mount Sheridan Trail. We then scaled Mount Sheridan, enjoyed the view from the top, and retraced our steps back to our campsite 8H2. Day 4 was about 9 miles.
Outro here, day 4. So today has just been really a magical day overall, but an adventure. We started out, I mean, we had a rainstorm all night. Not too bad, but it was thundering and lightning. So we made it through the night well. Woke up early with it raining and thundering and lightning through the morning. And so we just began to ask the question of, you know, how well we're going to be able to get up the mountain considering that. So we just waited it out. You know, really kind of relaxed probably till 10, 11, and then just kind of watched the clouds, and then went ahead and made the decision to go ahead and climb it, because you know, the clouds cleared and we thought we had a good opening, and turns out we did. So we made that hike, got up pretty quickly, and yeah, I mean, it was just cloudy the whole time, but really cool and really nice. And So we made it to the top. Had some incredible views at the top, and we were able to get back down pretty quickly just before, as you can see, what looks like a giant smoke storm has blown in all around us, but really kept it pretty shaded and cool this afternoon, and it's been a good evening. So
yeah, it's been a good penultimate day to a good trip. We've had some ups and downs throughout the trip. Probably the biggest down was definitely me feeling pretty bad on day 2, but fortunately a little 24-hour cold passed pretty quickly. The sights and scenery that we've seen over the past 4 days have been incredible. Sitting here on Heart Lake on our private beach is tough to beat. The top of Mt Sheridan, super beautiful, and the smoke had waited until we got to enjoy the great views, and as soon as we were coming down the mountain, all this smoke blew in. We're gonna enjoy the rest of our relaxing evening, and that'll be the end of day 4. Good night. Let's take a quick look around camp this morning. Here's our tent site, a couple hundred yards from the food prep area. Nice little spot tucked into these trees. Right outside our tent spot is Mt Sheridan, towering over this area. A short walk from the campsite is a pit toilet. Never have I ever taken care of business with such an astounding view. This is our private beach, about 100 feet down from the food hang fire pit area. There's Sheridan Creek flowing into Heart Lake, which is still loading this morning, but you have to take my word that it's out there. Last, but certainly not least, this is where the magic happens. Our food prep and food hang area. Our tent sites are in that low group of pines. Day 5, final day of our wonderful backpacking adventure in Yellowstone National Park. We've got about 9.5 miles to hike out today. Should be a beautiful hike for us. The sun is being hidden by the clouds right now. A pretty cool, damp morning. Pretty excited to hit the Heart Lake Geyser Basin on the way out. We should see some cool thermal features, some hot pools, things like that. We've got camp packed up. We're ready to hit the trail.
Let's take a look at the map for day 5. We started at our campsite 8H2, came along the Heart Lake Trail, checked out the Heart Lake Patrol Cabin, and then finished off the Heart Lake Trail to the Heart Lake Trailhead. Day 5 was about 9.5 miles for a trip total of approximately 44 miles.
Heading out. Someone stole most of Mt Sheridan, hasn't returned it yet. Got some coyote scat here on trail. I'm kidding, that's bear. Heart Lake is calm and serene this morning. A far cry from yesterday evening when all those winds were whipping through. Now it is as smooth as a mirror. Rustic geyser, throwing up a bunch of steam on this cool morning. Bunch of little ducks on the lake here, enjoying the morning. One of the pools in the Heart Lake Geyser Basin. Let's go for a swim. Bye-bye, Heart Lake. Appreciate the hospitality, as always.
making our way towards the Heart Lake Trailhead along Heart Lake Trail. Closing in on the end of our adventure.
Yeah. Ooh, buddy. 5 days in Wonderland. We've had an incredible adventure out here. Beautiful sights. The Snake River, the Heart River, Heart Lake, Mt Sheridan, the different thermal features and hot pools along the way. Couldn't have asked for a better time.
No way.
Everything worked out for us. We're now excited to go head down to Jackson and eat some Mexican food.
I'm gonna call Jen and my baby Eliza. I miss you.
That'll be the end of it. Goodbye.